Hey there, Trailblazers. I hope you guys are all doing well. So, I suppose you clicked on this video because you're probably interested in knowing about all of the future upcoming rerun banners coming to Honkai Star Rail, and want to plan out your stellar Jade savings accordingly to guarantee your favorite unit, right? Well, you're definitely in the right place, because today we're going to go over the potential upcoming rerun banners coming to the game between version 4.4 and 4.6. To give you a simple idea of how the structuring of this video will work, we'll first briefly talk about the new banners for each patch before segueing into the rerun lineup. But before we get into all of that, just keep in mind that everything which I mention in this video can be changed at any point. So take all of this info with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, let's jump straight into it without wasting any more of your time. Starting with version 4.4. Version 4.4 is looking like a pretty stacked patch overall. During Phase 1, we're expected to get Himiko SP, Fire Element unit that follows the path of erudition. And she will play the role of a main DPS that, in addition to dealing huge amounts of damage after activating her ultimate state, also provides a huge team-wide damage buff with her ultimate, and additional buffs to characters from the Astral Express if they're present in her team. Then during Phase 2, we're expected to get the second part of the Fate collaboration featuring Gilgamesh and Rin Tosaka. Gilgamesh has officially been confirmed as a lightning element unit that follows the path of destruction, while Rin Tosaka has officially been confirmed as a quantum element unit that follows the path of erudition. Considering how popular Fate is as a franchise, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if a lot of players end up saving specifically for these collaboration characters. But now let's move over to the reruns. According to current speculation, Phase 1 could feature Sparxie, Heng Terai, and Evernight. Starting with Sparxie, she's still one of the strongest supports available for many modern team compositions. Her ability to massively boost team performance has kept her relevant throughout multiple patches, so if you've been waiting for a chance to pick her up, this rerun would definitely be worth considering. Next is Heng Terai. Unlike many of the offensive units we've gotten recently, Heng PT fills a much more defensive role. His ability to provide survivability and utility has made him an extremely valuable option for players who prefer safer and more consistent clears. And then we have Evernight. Even after numerous new releases, Evernight remains one of the strongest units in the game. Her combination of damage and team utility has allowed her to remain relevant throughout the entire meta, and she continues to be a key piece in many high-end teams. Moving into Phase 2, current speculation points toward Anaxa, Aventurin, and Jade. Anaxa is still a very powerful character and remains a popular option among players who enjoy his particular playstyle. Aventurin, on the other hand, has fallen off quite a bit compared to the newer sustain options who are far superior. However, he is still a usable sustain if you have no one else to use. And then there's Jade. While she may not dominate every game mode, she's still incredibly effective in content that favors her strengths. Players who enjoy pure fiction or AE-focused gameplay could definitely find some value in her rerun. Now, let's move on to version 4.5. This is where things start getting really interesting. Phase 1 is expected to introduce Robin SP, and according to recent information, Robin SP is currently believed to be a wind element unit that follows the path of remembrance. Newly released info also suggests that Robin SP is expected to release during the first phase of the patch. And more importantly, the leak claims that she may end up replacing Castorice in remembrance teams. Honestly, if this information ends up being accurate, that's a pretty significant statement. For anyone who has been following the current meta, Castorice has been one of the defining pieces of many Remembrance team compositions. So hearing that Robin SP could potentially take over that position immediately raises a lot of questions about what her kit is actually capable of. Then during Phase 2, we're expected to get Aventurin SP. According to current information, a Venturan SP is said to be a quantum element unit that follows the path of elation. Rather than functioning as a traditional sustain like the original Venturan, this version appears to be much more damage-focused. He's described as a dual-mode character that can function in different ways depending on how he's played. He's also said to work with both elation teams and certain follow-up attack teams, while being capable of converting numerous smaller hits into significant damage through his mechanics. Needless to say, he already sounds like one of the most unique DPS characters currently being developed. As for reruns, Phase 1 speculation currently points toward Hyacinth. Hyacinth has remained a very solid character since her release, and depending on how the meta evolves by version 4.5, she could end up becoming an extremely attractive rerun option for players who skipped her originally. Then in Phase 2, speculation currently points toward Ashvale. Now this would actually make perfect sense, as an interesting detail surrounding Ashvale is his rumored synergy with Venturan SP. Now this is something that's been mentioned several times throughout recent leaks, and if it ends up being accurate, it could have a major impact on both characters' pull value. Based on the information circulating so far, Ashvale and Venturan SP are expected to work particularly well together, potentially forming the core of a future team archetype. We still don't have enough information to fully understand how that synergy functions in practice, but the fact that multiple leaks continue to connect these two characters suggests that Hoyoverse may be designing them with each other in mind. And finally, let's move on to version 4.6. The biggest new addition expected for this patch is Nihilix. According to current information, Nihilix is believed to be a quantum element unit that follows the path of elation. She's reportedly capable of functioning both as a main DPS and as a support depending on investment levels and team compositions, which already makes her sound incredibly flexible. Her kit is also said to involve skill point-focused mechanics, speed scaling, and support for elation-related gameplay. On top of that, earlier information suggested that she may have a transformation mechanic similar to some of the newer SP characters we've been hearing about recently. Honestly, from everything we've heard so far, Nihilix sounds like she has the potential to become one of the most important characters of the entire 4X cycle. Version 4.6 is also expected to introduce Pearl. Pearl is another upcoming elation character that has been receiving more attention recently. Early information suggests she may revolve around enhanced basic attacks and utility-focused gameplay rather than straightforward damage output. While we still don't know a lot about her final kit, she definitely looks like one of the more unique characters currently in development. Now moving on to the version 4.6 reruns. Based on current speculation, the first half of the patch could feature Silver Wolf level 999, also known as Silver Wolf SP. And honestly, this rerun would make a lot of sense if Nihilix really does end up releasing in the same patch. Whenever Hoyoverse introduces a new character that potentially shares team archetypes or synergies with an older unit, they often like to rerun that older character around the same time. So from that perspective, Silver Wolf LV.999 returning during version 4.6 feels like a pretty logical possibility. She's also remained a very popular character since her release, and there are still plenty of players who either skipped her originally or simply weren't able to get her during her debut banner. Because of that, a rerun would give those players another opportunity to pick her up while also potentially strengthening some of the newer team compositions that could emerge throughout the later 4X patches. Then in the second half of version 4.6, speculation currently points toward Evanesha. Evanesha is another character that many players have been waiting to see return, and by the time version 4.6 arrives, it'll likely have been quite a while since her last banner appearance. What's particularly interesting is that her rerun could arrive during the same patch as Nihilix, which may give players multiple strong options to choose from depending on which archetype they want to invest in moving forward. And considering how many new team archetypes appear to be forming throughout the upcoming patches, having access to older premium characters like Evanesha could become increasingly valuable. So while nothing is officially confirmed yet, a Silver Wolf 999 and Evanesha rerun lineup would definitely make version 4.6 one of the most expensive patches for Stellar Jade savings. And honestly, looking at everything together, the next few patches are shaping up to be absolutely packed. So if you're currently low on Stellar Jades, now is probably a good time to start planning your pulls very carefully. Because between the collaboration characters, multiple SP variants, and several strong reruns, there are going to be a lot of tempting banners coming up. But anyways, that's pretty much all of the current information that I have for this video. Let me know down in the comments which upcoming character or rerun you're planning to pull for the most. If you found the video helpful, feel free to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest Honkai Star Rail news, leaks, and updates. That's it for now, so I'll see you guys in the next video.